Come, piggy piggies, come, piggy
Yeah, there's like
piggies.
10 of them there.
There's a lot of fucking people, dude. They're coming for my ass. Don't come, guys. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. It's a prank, bro. It's just a prank.
Really, man? You're gonna phone me?
Got a lot of guys on me, bro. I'm
Yeah, I'm
afraid for
coming.
my life.
Rogue hive detected.
Beautiful, dude. Beautiful. I'm pushing the other.
System.
Of course, I'm pushing him, but he's running the fuck away because, you know, he's only fighting when there's 20 other people around.
Coming up.
You're fucking dead anyway, dead, bro. Unlucky. I got 2 guys on me. I'm coming back down.
Just as I'm about to snipe someone, and then that happens.
One guy behind you, I think, good. Watch out.
No, man, it's dead.
Oh, okay, he's showing. I'm gonna fall back. God, they're not gonna come out of there now.
System disrupted.
Pull back a little.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
You want the blue shield?
Agent out of function.
You got 5 people behind you.
I'm gonna take this one with me. I didn't.
Zero.
Hello, everyone. What's going on? Hey, what's that? Yeah, boy. Yeah, man. Growing that crop. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, basically, let's get straight into my rifle build. There's going to be 2 build videos in one. So, let's start with the first one. The older one that I've been using. This is a MDR rifle build, MDR with Rifleman. Rifleman is the best talent because you get 50% weapon damage just by hitting headshots with a 5-second interval between hitting the next one to keep that stack. You want damage targets out of cover, best in slot. MDR is probably the best rifle in the game for anyone. Well, I mean, I think it's better than the Virginian or the Diamondback or the M1A, provided you can actually hit headshots. Of course, the Virginian is really good with headshots, but that's a single shot, high damage powered rifle. This is more of a spam rifle. Good alternative to assault rifles if you are looking for something a little harder hitting. Definitely recommend the MDR. For those of you who don't know yet, 35% more headshot damage with the MDR compared to every other rifle in the game. So yeah, really good rifle. Secondary, Nemesis. Nemesis comes in really handy when I'm trying to stay at range and I'm trying to pick people off. This is a very good solo and team build, but yeah, very good solo as well. And when you're solo, it's nice to pick people off before they can get close to you, especially the semi-weak players. So Nemesis is very good for that. Due to my stats, I'm only sitting at 41% crit chance and 115 crit damage. I do run the finisher pistol. I run the finisher because when you kill, also when you down and finish a player with the pistol, and then swap from it within 10 seconds, you gain 30% crit chance and 30% crit damage. That is going to cap out your crit chance and get your crit damage to 145, which puts you in a very competitive stage. So yeah, do that. You can go for a preservation sidearm. I have a double barrel with really good roll here. That's potentially something you could try, or just have preservation on a pistol, so you can proc it on an NPC headshot at range, which is very handy to do in the middle of the fight. So we are also looking at 52% incoming repair, That is 2 blue mods and 1 R&K. That is a sweet spot. That's what you want in most of your builds in this patch. And even in the next patch, I reckon it's still going to be very, very, very strong. And 60% hazard protection. Hazard protection, like all mitigations, are exponential from 50 to 100%. Up to 50% is fairly linear. So really do, like, the 8.7% I have here, but over 50 is more than any 8.7 up to that point. So if you can get this to 70 or even 80, please, please, please do so. However, due to this being a rifle and no native crit chance, I actually just prefer to get crit chance here, but since as I just don't have those rolls, it cannot be done. How are we achieving those stats? What pieces do you want to run? Well, first of all, you definitely want to have one piece Cheska. You get 10% crit chance. It's simply probably the best single piece in the game, along with R&K. R&K gives you the incoming repair. Remember, with the incoming repair, you want to have 2 blue mods. And that's why I have an R&K and a Cheska in any 2 or 3 of these slots. That's how you want to get it. You don't really need 3 blue on this build. I don't think it's necessary. So yeah, 2 of 3. I run 2-piece Cheska, however, because I do like the hazard protection. It helps you get to that 60%. Again, you want to get hazard protection and crit damage rolls, just like my previous 2 builds, anywhere you can. Because this doesn't have as much crit chance, perhaps you could trade a couple of these rolls for crit chance if you have the pieces to do it. 2-piece Providence gives you crit chance as well. I don't think it's necessarily the best way to get crit chance. I think having a Coyotes is probably just a better idea overall, but I wanted to get crit chance, and this is how I went with it in this variant of the build. I do have a God roll piece here and a very good piece here with concussion, so yeah, you can do that. Fox's Prayer, I shouldn't even need to mention it. Best rifle piece in the game. I do recommend using it 9 times out of 10. I say 9 times out of 10 because my second build in this build video isn't going to have Fox's Prayer. So, what kind of rolls are we talking about? So, crit damage, hazard protection, incoming repair, armor. Again, you want to go with 2 reds and 4 blues. It's the sweet spot for all kinds of builds like this. Chest piece will be R&K. If you can get an R&K backpack, that's perfectly fine. It's probably going to be a chest or bag R&K that you're probably going to use. Unfortunately, I have explosive damage. I'd rather have, you know, crit damage or crit chance here. Unfortunately, I just don't have it. But you want hazard protection and incoming repair with Unbreakable. Unbreakable is the best chest piece talent for PvP. Efficient is good too, but Unbreakable is better. God roll, triple God roll, max Providence holster, weapon damage, hazard, crit damage. So you want to run the 2-piece for the crit chance. Headshot damage is nice, but definitely not necessary. Backpack. We've gone with crit chance, crit damage, crit damage. Could go for crit chance to get the crit chance up, but then your crit damage drops down to 102, 103. It's just, I don't know. I think you need to have a bit more crit damage than that. And of course, concussion, best talent for the rifle. Yes, Wicked isn't too bad, but to worry about having to inflict status effects, it can make you use your jammer before you really need to, and then, you know, within the next 15-20 seconds, a time we really need to use a jammer, you ain't going to have it, just for that damage increase, when all you had to do was get a headshot kill. And believe me, you are going to want to get headshot kills, and even just the headshots give you damage, because that's what Rifleman does. So much damage, 50% weapon damage. So, for the gloves, we're going with Cheska. Again, triple max gold roll, it's really hard not to use your best pieces. And yeah, weapon damage, crit damage, hazard protection. Really nice there. And of course the Fox's Prayer. Unfortunately I have a headshot damage roll with this one. I do actually have a crit damage one, but it comes with a red. And that would put me at 3-3. And I simply just don't think 3-3 is better than 2-4. So I went with this one and I get a bit of headshot damage. Not a big deal, no problem though. So for the mods on the MDR, what do you want to run? I've got to tell you something. Guys, this is where I see most people go wrong. They think crit chance, crit chance, crit chance. Because, oh, I haven't got 60% crit chance. I gotta get my crit chance up to as much as I can. Whoa. No. No. You're doing it wrong. Extra rounds, no questions asked. You want crit chance on one of these 3 pieces. But it was probably going to be the scope, because on the muzzle you get 20% stability. 20% stability at only a 10 cost of optimal range. This gun does not suffer from optimal range. It's actually not that great, but not that bad either. You get way more damage from hitting your headshots, and optimal range is a fine thing to sacrifice for 20% stability. This allows you to spam it at high rates of fire, you know, from around 320 upwards, for you to not have to control the recoil. So you can forego one element of weapon handling, or, you know, personal control. Then you want to get at least one accuracy mod, because if you don't run this accuracy mod and you start spamming, your reticle is going to jump left, right, up, down, left, right, up, down. It ain't going to go where you want it to go. You want to be able to spam this at beyond 10-15 meters when you need to, and not have to have your reticle jump around the head. You want it to hit the head. Ideally, if you can get enough crit chance, go with another accuracy mod. Or if you're really good with the stability, forego this and put an accuracy mod. Accuracy is really important on rifles. So, but I think the sweet spot is 1 stability, 1 accuracy, and 1 crit chance. The best of all worlds. A little bit of each. So I've gone over the weapon and the gear. Skills. Again, you're going to want to run the shield. The shield protects you from body shot plebs, and if you're a headshot damage guy, you're going to be using this gun. You protect yourself from the body, and you nail other people. So when other people challenge you with the same shield, it doesn't matter. You're aiming for the head anyway. So, and don't forget the damage bonus that you get with it. 11% damage bonus per enemy with the corresponding mod. You will need a good roll. 5% damage bonus per enemy. You can get a 6%, I believe. I just don't have that. That's per enemy. And with 4 blues, you get a strong shield. Again, that's why you need the high blues. You can even go 1 red and 5 blues and have an even stronger shield. Also viable. With the pulse, gotta go with the jammer. Let me just chuck on my slightly upgraded charge speed mod, which I haven't saved in a build yet. Very, very strong. You use this to EMP people's skills, especially those TP guys, you know, TP, Pesty, Unbreakable, 5-6 blues with a hive. No problem. You run in there with this, you jam their hive. You whip out your shield, you make them aim for the head. You know these TP Pesty guys, they're not the greatest players. They still run TP Pesty because they're not the greatest players. So they aim body a lot, and you get to protect yourself from that. Yeah, the Pesty's going to stack on you, but don't worry. The headshot damage, and the rifleman, and the concussion is going to give you so much damage, and the 40 rounds is going to give you so much damage per mag, you're going to take out TP Pesty like it's nothing, man. Trust me. You're going to take out other rifle players like it's nothing. Because if you pace your shots at range, if you don't spam the MDR at range, you can go 3-shot any glass cannon M1A player. No problem. You want to run into a Vector? Vector Versatile is very strong against this build, but don't worry. Vectors are also body shot players. Whip out your shield. It's gonna die, but it's gonna save you from most of the first magazine. While you dish out dead. That's what happens to enemies. So this is one variant of the build. Remember, let's check out the stats again. 41 crit chance, healthy amount of crit damage, good headshot damage, and damage to targets out of cover from the Fox's Prayer. 52 incoming repair, and just shy of 60 hazard protection. Very, very healthy balance of stats. So, let's head on to the second version of this build, one I made more recently. This is the MDR Pesty. You see, one of the problems I did find with running the MDR build is people that run full body shields, and there's a lot of them going around at the DZ at the moment. They realised how strong it is, and with that overpowered Liberty pistol, which is basically just an M1A sidearm, except you can have a full body shield in front of you. So yeah, that's really unbalanced at the moment, and to deal with that, I decided to remake the build. This build is actually probably better in the sense that I don't have useless stats. Every stat, every attribute is the right attribute that I want in this build. So, not using Fox's Prayer as you might have noticed, I'm using Overlord chest piece. But don't worry, I've made up from the damage to targets out of cover with the damage to armor. But I'm also running Overlord for the rifle and Petrov for the LMG. So both of these have really good weapon damage, and the damage to armor replacing the damage to targets out of cover, keeping that in check. Let's look at the stats. How do they compare? Same crit chance, almost the same crit damage, slightly lower headshot damage, but I've gained the utility from a secondary that can help deal with one of the biggest weaknesses. So losing a bit of headshot damage, it's not a big deal. You get so much damage from hitting the head anyway that a little bit of headshot damage is not a big deal. So let's head down here. Same incoming repair and almost the same hazard protection. You can see right here, 56 to 58. So the stats are almost the same. However, I've gained coyotes, so in mid-range I actually gain crit chance, in close range I gain crit damage, and long range I have a fully maxed out crit chance LMG. So if we go to our stats and check out the LMG, it's 36, but at range with the coyotes proc, that's going to be capped out at 60%, really nice, 14% armor damage. Yeah, so at range I choose to use the Pesty. It keeps players at bay with that stack, it makes them scared, and especially with shield players, you're going to want to kite a little more. And with the Nemesis and the other build, you can't really snipe them because they have a full body shield. But with this, you make them be scared of you. In fact, if you do a good job with the Pesty, the full body shield players are going to want to switch off of that build to another build, and they play into what you want them to do. So, enough to talk about the build. What are the stats? Of course, it's coyotes, it's crit chance, crit damage, and crit chance on the mod. This is to help achieve that 41. Overlord chest piece, god roll. I rolled the blue mod on here so I can get the 2 blue mods. You definitely want to have 2 blue mods on a build. Coyotes is a definite red, so I had to roll this to a blue mod. And besides, these rolls were high enough. Weapon, hazard, crit, damage. Just what you want. For the holster, finally found myself a snot holster. It's max armor, max hazard, and a reasonable crit chance roll. Obviously, of course, it would be nicer to get higher. Yeah, this is for the hazard protection. You can run Jarl or you can run a second Cheska. It makes no difference. Use the best pieces that you have available. Of course, you've got to have an R&K in the build, so I opted for one of my good R&Ks. Max armor, max crit damage, good hazard protection, income repair, and concussion. It's the talent you want. For the gloves, we replaced these gloves. These gloves replaced the Fox's Prayer, so damage to targets have a cover, became damage to armor, keeping that in check. However, I've now gained a crit damage roll here, as opposed to the headshot damage from the Fox's Prayer. And my knee pads actually have crit damage and hazard protection. Every attribute on this piece, on this build, is better than the other one. I just sacrificed a one-shot sniper at range. And of course, the crit chance. Best first piece in the game, I think, along with R&K. Nothing else can compare. Really essential stuff right here. And of course, shield and jammer. I don't need to explain that again. You know the deal. Protect yourself from body shots and jam enemy skills. You can use a preservation pistol, or you can use a finisher pistol. It's absolutely perfectly fine. This is actually really nice because it's a really good roll and I can literally finish off players, get my preservation, and get on with the fight. So, those are the 2 variants of the builds. You know the deal. You want 50% income and repair with your just over 50%, 2 blue mods and an R&K giving you a full armor. 2 weapon damage things to complement my 2 main weapons. Enough crit chance, hazard protection, income and repair, and this giving me more crit chance, crit damage depending on the situation. Excellent stuff going on right here. Of course, you got to use Firewall. I shouldn't even have to tell you that. 52% income and repair with a Firewall is going to give you a very strong medkit, but then you have a second knife. Fighting efficient or unbreakable with this build is no problem. TP unbreakable, no problem. Squishy rifle players, no problem, because you, as long as you place shots, you go they're dead, no problem. So this build is very good. It deals with most situations. 60% hazard, deals with that fire holster pretty well. Again, when you're on fire and you have a shield out, you can push right up to the player's face and just go for hip fire headshots. It's not that difficult to do. It means that you don't suffer so much from being on fire like you do with the SMG builds that I showed you before. And yeah, I run the Firewall grenade. Best grenade in the game. Of course, when you run out, just switch. No problem there. So, now that I've gone through the builds, that'll do. Let's go into more gameplay, because man, I've got my hard drive filled with gameplay. So yeah, man, in a bit, this guy's by himself. We can actually catch him. Okay, there's 2, but whatever. Oh, shield.
God, stuck me, dude. God. They can't.
Nice macro.
Nice aim. You have to stick me to get me.
Nice macro. Nice macro. Look at that fucking
Nice macro, man.
nice fucking
Macro. Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Oh,
Nice.
he's got a macro.
Yeah, that's what they all do. They get shout so they accuse macro. Nice, GG man. Pathetic play. So for this segment, I'm going to actually speak over it because my OBS wasn't recording in-game audio. So there's a situation, we've got a couple of alright players. They're both running shield with, I think, unbreakable and of course firewall. So I'm constantly being set on fire. I think both of them also have the fire holster. So I literally spend all my time on fire. And you can see, you know, they're EMPing me as well. They're using quite a lot of things. Look at that, I'm on fire again. And despite these tricky players, I still managed to come out on top. Not the greatest players, but they're using all the cheese. Look at that again. Set on fire constantly. I spend more time on fire than I do not on fire. Look at that again. Because of the armor break. So dumb. And I do actually finally end up getting him, but NPCs get me.
Nearby agent has become detected.
Don't forget they can't aim, so they have to stick me. Yikes!
I'm in my menu typing. And of course, ended it with a nice little friendly comment to everyone. Could you please like the video and subscribe, of course, if you liked it, and if you want to see more of my content, you should want to see more of it. Pretty good stuff. So yeah, man, appreciate you guys stopping by. In a bit.